Hello YouTube, what's going on? Today I figured I'd poke a bit of fun at myself and just compare some old mixes to some new ones. So let's get into it. You can see on top here, I got the old ones and then I have the new one. First one is the first song I ever put out that I wrote, produced, mixed, and mastered. So it's gonna be a little rough. Let's just listen from the top, shall we? It's kind of a ballad.
I left this town trying to find who I'm destined to be.
All right, already I feel like the vocal presence is kind of weird. I remember tracking these vocals between classes on this mic, which I actually don't love for my singing voice.
So much better when I'm losing the fight, the way you call me.
She was very like whoa for all the vocals. And I think it'll sound probably unique from everything else here.
I lost my way trying to come home, and you found it for me. Oh, you found it for me. Now I'll fight for you forever, so you know.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of production in this one. It's a lot of ambient stuff. So not a ton of low end. It's very mid-present. Decent peak control though, nothing horrible.
You make it look so easy when you're saving my life.
I'm not sure exactly why that vocal presence is why it is. Could have been some reverb choice. Could have just been processing. I'm not sure.
Pull me up to tell me it'll all be alright. You got hard to me.
I remember at one point this song had rock drums in the end of it. I made so many versions because I was going just neurotic over it. Like, you know, just so in my head knowing that it was going to come out. But yeah, I think my main criticism is the vocal presence. It feels so low MIDI. Well, I know this was recorded in a completely untreated apartment. So I don't know. It sounds like it from the vocals perspective. Some of the instrumentals fine. It just really doesn't have enough low end either. It's kind of...
You make it look so easy.
Right, a sub just came in there, but like it's not, you can't really hear it. It's not great. There's not a ton of depth in the stereo field, but you know what? Not a bad first attempt. I would give this a C. I give this one a C. Let's move on to the next one. All right, Fall Behind. So we went from this to this. So you can tell I was having a bit of a experimental phase with my music. This first song, I listened to a ton of Anson Seabra or even Alec Benjamin. And I was like, yeah, that could be a cool way to go. After finishing this song to this one, I wanted to go a completely different direction. I learned a ton making this song. I know this record isn't perfect and we'll touch on some things. I actually haven't listened to this since it came out. I actually love this intro, I can't lie.
I've been running out of time. It's getting late now, leading up to find color fade.
Okay, something I actually remember also is I got crazy, is it laryngitis? Like when you lose your voice. So all of these vocals were recorded like weeks or maybe even months apart. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, I lost my voice bad. Anyways, vocals here.
Running out of time. It's getting late now, leading up to find color.
They actually have kind of a decent bit of space. They feel still a bit...
Now, leading up to find.
It's definitely still kind of buried under the instrumental. Not too mono. Like there's actually an interesting bit of depth.
Out of the warning signs. And you know you do best. Weaponize innocence. You cover your intent with perfume, white lies, and undress.
I was really trying to write sort of like a Mariana's Trench style track 1 where it's not just a standard pop form, it evolves and it changes. And that was something I was pretty proud of the song for. Like I love the writing and there was a huge jump in arrangement here on most fronts. We'll get to why some of the choices in here were the wrong ones. There's actually some interesting ideas going on. Like I like guitar parts. I like some of the vocal tone. It's a bit grittier.
I turn the key, you pick the lock, I wait for you, you never stop. I show my hand, you play for keeps, you wear my
some formant vocals, which is cool, and like a radio Vox effect. Kind of neat, kind of neat.
And I won't believe it. The words you're speaking tattoo the ceiling.
I remember this when I made this being like so proud of it, and it's only like a synth line kind of pulsing and like one guitar part. But yeah, I thought it was so cool. So the main issue we'll get to, I think, is this big drop. The drum part, if you listen for it and you know even a little bit about drums or human anatomy, you know that you need an octopus to play this drum part. And at the time I just didn't care. I was like, I want it to sound what it is. I want it to be crazy and just big and huge. But really, in hindsight, making the drum part as busy as it is just took away. It's also quite harsh. Yeah, cymbals are so loud, and the toms, like if you listen for them, they're insane. They're insane. They're like on the other side too. Like it's just. Yeah, nuts. Okay, I think also I went such a long section. I think this entire part here, no vocals, which I would not do today. This is still cool to me. I love this section. It's such a pretty part to play. You'll see more in the newer mixes. You kind of want this general fall off here, which is sort of going on. But look at this. Like this area, definitely where a lot of that sharpness from the drums is coming in. Quite a heavy mid presence as well, which wouldn't be awful on its own. But the balance of this compared to where the low end is and where some of the high end is, it's just, it needs to go from like flat across to a bit more of a fall off, if that makes sense. A lot of cool parts, a lot of cool parts. That's a high part.
And I fall behind every time, and you pull away one more time. I fall behind.
I actually feel a little bit emotional listening to that, not gonna lie. I think this part was some of the last vocals I did on it. Man, I still love this part. How I feel with this song in general is I think I bit off more than I could chew, in a sense of like where I was at the time. This is a really ambitious song to mix well, because it's almost like 3 or 4 different songs in one, right? We have this acoustic section, we have an interesting bridge, this other verse part, big long instrumental, which shouldn't be that long, but to get them cohesive. I know I did my best. There's still a lot of great ideas, but yeah. I would give this one, I think that if the last one was a C, I don't know, I'd give this one like a B-. I like that there's far more going on here than the last one. Okay, this next one is not actually my song. It's an artist named Emmy. This was kind of the pinnacle of me mixing in that untreated apartment. I understood the room I was in as best I could. I understood the speakers I was using best I could. But all right, let's, same thing. Let's go from the top a little bit. See, again, the biggest tell with all of these is the vocals. The sound stage is fine, right? There's nothing really wrong with this, you know. But as soon as these vocals come in,
I hope you know just.
it's kind of pithy, like maybe like 7K or so, and it feels very mono and Barry.
I hope you know just what you get.
Right, kind of in that middle, and I don't love that. I'm gonna skip ahead a bit.
Got trauma and baggage and doubts living in my mind, and I cry ugly.
So one thing about M, loads of background vocals usually. So she done way more than I had in some of these other ones.
Mascara stains on hoodie sleeves. When it rains, it pours on me.
The editing's pretty tight though. Like nothing feels sloppy. The top end of all of the vocals, I feel like the dynamics aren't super controlled. Yeah.
Sorry, I can't be perfect all the time.
This, I know her voice really well now. She's very dynamic in this range. You can tell it shows here, but not bad. Because even looking at the real time, like look at this graph, that fall off, that's not bad from where the low end is, but man, these like mid peaks, all of this in relation to the low end is just, there's not much low end again.
Hope you know.
It's a vocal mixing to the track kind of scenario. Yeah.
When I'm a mess and not pretty.
I feel like the mix tweaks is fairly basic, but there's also not enough production going on, frankly. There's not enough to differentiate sections. It feels a bit safe. If you just hit play at any point,
When I lose myself and start to scream.
that part gets good, but like
Can't sleep, can't breathe. Hope you know I'm not touching doubts living in.
it's all kind of in the same wheelhouse. This part's cool.
Tell me you promise me that you won't leave.
The vocals feel best in this section. It seems like some of the mix choices were made in this little block, but maybe not with everything considered.
And start to scream when I cry myself. Try telling me you promise me that you won't leave.
Like in general, I think of these ones, I think this is the best sounding mix. Fall Behind to me feels way too harsh, way too bright. You Save Me has a very like low mid weird presence in the vocals. Anyways, that sums up the old mixes. Let's get into some new ones now. So Screwed currently is my best performing track. I think it's around 90k streams right now on Spotify. There are some unique challenges with this as well. You know, making a song that's short and interesting throughout is difficult. I learned a ton doing this song as well. So let's have a listen.
All alone when I need you most. What am I to do? You know I love when you call my phone. When are you coming through?
So similar to Fall Behind, I think I tracked the vocals all at different times, like weeks, months apart.
Do I hate a way that it's gonna break it now? I'm a little lost. Don't make me say it, I feel too much, I'm shaking now. Are you waiting off?
Here we go.
If you leave, I don't know what I'd do, yeah. If you're gone, I don't know the way through. If you leave me here right out in the open, I'm screwed.
This is a much more normal or safe mix. Now, I will mention as well, I mixed and mastered all of these tracks above. I did not master any of these three. I don't do that anymore. If I've produced it and been involved from the beginning, writing and mixing, I don't master it. And that has been a wonderful change of pace. If you have the resources to pay a really good mastering engineer, it's worth it, even just for your own peace of mind.
I know what it is.
Yeah, these drums.
I know what it is when you make your entrance. My eyes are on you. I don't know what to say. Yeah, my mind can't escape that I'm waiting for you.
So I'm just laughing because I feel like I just love really busy drums, it seems. I had a lot of people tell me, maybe you should cut those drums. I don't know if they really work. But then I had one friend told me, no, I love them. I think they're great. And so all I needed was one voice to tell me, yeah, they're sick. And I was like, okay, word, they're staying.
I get it, honestly. You make it so hard to breathe. I play it on repeat. All the words that you never said to me. If you leave, I don't know what I'd do, yeah. If you're gone, I don't know the way through. If you
There's acoustic guitar in here. That's funny. I actually don't remember doing that.
If you leave me here right out in the open, if you leave, I don't know what I'd do, yeah.
That snare kind of seems weird, actually.
Do, yeah. If you
I feel like it's like to the right. and I don't remember that.
You leave me here right out in the open.
That's weird. That's weird. If I had to guess why it streamed the best, it's kind of no nonsense, right? Like the writing's simple, the mix is good, there's nothing that jumps out at you, it's overall balanced well between sections, and yeah, there's unique things that keep your attention throughout it, so I could see a reason to come back. I'd say this is like A minus maybe. I don't know if the vocal presence is like the best ever, but it's a pass. Like it's good enough. Okay, not enough. Now I didn't produce this track. This is a collab I did with the artist named Nira, but I did the top line for it. I did the writing and the vocals, and I mixed the track. And this one I'm probably the most proud of. Really like how the vocals sit. Yeah, anyways, let's get into it.
I've been waking up at dawn, breaking my back to turn it on. How much longer this can go, I don't know.
Like, listen to that versus.
If this time trying, I've been waiting. Hope you know how much longer this can go.
Right, they don't feel so mono. There's already an immediate sense of space around them. It's not harsh. It feels balanced. Like, even these guys.
I've been running out of time. Been waking up at dawn, breaking my back to.
Yeah, very happy with that.
Oh, and for why you take it for granted, I hate it. I don't wanna say it, but I can't just fake it. One more night, I'm breaking out your.
Yeah, like we have some high backgrounds and stuff going in, but these vocals still feel smooth to me, which I really like.
Now you're not saying one more night, I'm feeling. You know I stay with you all night. You know I want us to be alright, but I know something here ain't right, 'cause I'm not enough.
Yeah, it just makes me smile. I love it. So interesting. You know how I said it kind of has this fall off. Like if you look at Screwed, right? This is a very like flat, like very boom. This one, there's a bit of an arc to it, right? Which kind of makes sense. A lot of this EDM stuff, all these drops, right? They have a heavy mid presence. Just to say that there's not one mix by any means. I actually think I like Not Enough more than Screwed as far as a mix.
Breaking out is when you make your entrance. My eyes are
Screwed is -8. I don't even know. -6.
You know I stay with you all night. You know I want us to be alright, but I know something here ain't right, 'cause I'm not enough.
Something funny about the end here is her stems, she sent them to me and clipped the tails of everything. I think just, I don't know, she was going fast, but then her computer kind of died and she wasn't able to get back into the session. So those stems were just, they were what they were. And so the song ends because that's how it had to. I just took a riser from somewhere else, plopped it at the end. And that's it. I would give Not Enough. I would give it like an A+ for me. I give it an A+. I think I nailed the genre as far as mixing goes. I don't know. I think the vocals sit some of the best of any of these examples for sure. All right, one more to go. This song is called Skin. It's a collab with an artist named Heidi. Just came out, and pretty proud of this one. I like it. It's kind of contemporary R&B. Very inspired by Bieber's Swag 2 and all the McGee stuff.
Stayed in paradise. Can't go back or change my mind. Now you don't get to go and cry, 'cause I was yours just last July.
So very similar to Screwed in the frequency response, which isn't particularly surprising considering the same guy mastered it.
Hold me, don't get it wrong, I'm feeling lonely, lonely. Let me know.
I know every vocal in this was like meticulously edited. I did a lot of that for both of us. She sang the first half, then I sang kind of the second.
How far do we drag this? Messing with my head, said it's for the best.
I should also mention we wrote this with our friend Lene, and she called in from an iPad, and in like 30 minutes Lene did so much work for the lyrics and everything. So good, so talented.
You're under my skin.
Right here, for the longest time we had like a sound, and I think it's so much better that we didn't. Like, imagine this. I don't know, I think it's corny. I think it's so corny.
Coming back to sympathize. Talk it out with your sorry eyes. I've seen that look about 1,000 times when I was yours just last July.
It's kind of that same guitar riff that goes the whole time. It's just recontextualized. Bassline goes da 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 da. That's the whole song. It's the whole song basically.
Let me know, how far do we drag this? Messing with my head, said it's for the best. Why you acting
Yeah, really interesting drum stuff.
You're on my, all over my, you're under my skin. On my, all over my, you're under my skin.
This hook, which I think Lene is entirely responsible for, is such a great example of that rule of thirds. Like, not only is she repeating the melody 3 times, but recontextualizing the lyrics. On my, all over my, you're under my skin. On my, all over my, under my skin is such a good hook.
Saying goodbye feels like we're just suspended in time. Guess we're not good at saying goodbye. Feels like we're just suspended in time.
So something you may not have caught is this bridge section is actually a few BPM slower than the rest of the song. We did some demo vocals at the slower one the next day and was like, hey, what if we slowed that down and sped everything else up a little bit? It was like, okay, sure, let's try it. And so that's actually what ended up happening. You can maybe kind of feel it ramp up as the solo comes back in. Let's see if you can find it.
Suspended in time.
Now it's faster.
This messing with my head, said it's for the best. Why you acting shameless? Getting all undressed, sneaking in my bed. You're on my, all over my, you're under my skin. On my, all over my, you're under my skin.
So kind of a same ending to Screwed here a little bit.
I'm screwed.
I would give Skin probably an A. I would give it an A. I feel like I would give Screwed A-, Not Enough A+, and Skin an A. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you got suggestions for future videos, let me know down below. But otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.